There is a difference between divine timing and man-made time. And Spirit wants to talk to you about that today, because it is about time for something to happen. And not only that, Spirit also wants to let you know that you are controlling something when it comes to time. Feels like you could expand it and stretch it, slow things down for yourself so that you can see. I'm hearing every particle of sand that you want to see. So when this card came out for the theme of your reading, I was kind of shook. I had a dream last night about time. And I'm telling you this because it's part of the message for sure, 100%. And in this dream, it was like, you know, when you have a dream and it goes from scene to scene to scene. Well, that was happening. And each scene was about movement, like going down an elevator, going up an escalator, riding a bike, rapids in the river, an ocean flowing, like everything was moving. Until I saw this icy blue, scary, really scary kind of figure, feminine figure. She had like spiky hair. And she was saying something like in a witchy kind of voice, and I was scared of this person. But she was telling me, I got the sense that she was telling me what this motion and what this dream was all about. And rather than waking up or running from her, I went right up to her, grabbed her arm, and said, "No, you tell me loud and clear, what is this all about? What is this dream about?" And she replied to me in this raspy voice, "Time." And then I woke up and then I was like, my heart was pounding. I was like, whoa, something's going on with time here. And surely it was a personal dream, but it's also a collective energy because this came out now. Okay? So Spirit's getting your attention when it comes to time. I just feel guided to ring this bell. It feels like maybe there's been some undue pressure placed upon you, or worry and concern about things moving quickly and you can't catch your breath. You'd like to slow down. Some of you feel stuck and stagnant, like things aren't happening as quick as they should. And Spirit is coming through, I'm hearing, with a wash of energy to wash that, to clean up that perspective you have on time, because that is one that is man-made. Okay? The clocks are man-made. The stars are not. Okay, so maybe pay attention to cycles more than you pay attention to time. Now, I know we got stuff to do in a day and we got to look at our watch and clock and things like that, but this seems very important, and I'm very curious to get into this message and see what Spirit has to say. So let's go ahead and do that. I did get a side message about someone potentially setting themselves up. It could be someone you know, or maybe it's even yourself, but there's something about, what is that? Someone setting themselves up. Spirit guides. Guidance is coming through. Maybe a little bit of a caution or a warning to be very mindful of your actions, of your thoughts, of what you're saying. But setting yourself up could also be a positive thing, like establishing yourself, getting some security and stability. Lying to yourself. Let's see. What is this? Setting yourself up. Distance. Double life. There's something here that you're trying to obtain, but you see it as far, far away, or something you desire, you want to move towards. Peace of mind could even be financial security, love, I don't know. The next chapter of your life, you see it as a distant kind of energy that isn't in the present moment with you now. And Spirit's coming through here to tell you that that's not the way it is. That thing that you want, that you desire, that you're seeing is already in your energy. It's already here, or else you wouldn't be able to even imagine it and fathom it. So the potential is already there, but it's like you're kind of living this double life of like, oh, my future self versus who I am now. And I feel like Spirit's coming through and telling you they're one and the same. Which means you could really experience what you want to experience, what you think you're going to experience, what you hope to experience in the future right now. So what is it that you're setting yourself up for then? Stuck. Yeah, to feel stuck. Exactly. this time is really important for you to think about how you can have something, experience the same feelings around whatever it is you think you need to experience those feelings right now. You know, sometimes we want the job, or we want the love, or we want the house, or we want the peace of mind, we want the physical strength, whatever we're after, healing. We want it all because we're after an actual feeling it's going to give us. Not because we really want the job exactly, but we want the feeling that it's going to give us, whatever that feeling is. And Spirit's saying you can have that now. You can have that now. And I also feel like one of those visions and desires you have, remember, it feels like it's coming closer to you. Remember, hold on. There's something from the past here. I'm seeing remember, destruction, and careless. That might be making you feel like the future is further than it is. Okay, I'm going to leave that there because it feels like we're going off on some kind of quantum metaphysical message, which I will get to, but let's see what's going on here first. Can you give us more specific, Spirit, about this message regarding time? Rest, the bed, the dream. The dreams, loss, destruction in the past. Also, some of you, something was destroyed in the past. Maybe it was a sense of self or something in your life, a relationship. Spirit's asking you to briefly remember that loss, because that person that you were in that moment couldn't imagine who you are now. And that made it really difficult to get to where you are now. And I feel Spirit saying, if you can imagine who you're going to be in the future now, you can avoid some of that turmoil that you experienced in the past when something happened. Does this make sense? Maybe I won't post this one, right? Really official things. And memories. Yeah, see, there's something going on here about this. Time, memories, future self. Kind of a mind F right now. We have 9539. Official things. Hold on a second. We have the 9 of Pentacles with rest. The 5 of Cups. You know, I'm just reading these as the cards, right? The 5 of Cups as loss. The 3 of Cups as memory. And the 9 of Wands as official things. Yeah, so this is, 9 of Wands is like continuing the fight despite being wounded, you know, but it's exhaustion too, which is why rest is coming up. You've been fighting for a very long time. Even if it doesn't appear that way, you might not be all banged up on the outside, okay? Maybe you have a lot of people envying you, actually. But in reality, you do carry some scars and some wounds, and you are still fighting the fight, and it is exhausting from time to time. So Spirit is really saying with the 9 of Pentacles here and rest, this is where your freedom and abundance come. When we rest. And it's not just rest in terms of like go take a nap, don't do the dishes, or take a day off from work. It's not that kind of rest that Spirit's getting to, although that would help. It's like resting your mind when it comes to time, specifically. Like, I need to get this done. There's a deadline. I'm getting older. What about what happened in the past? There's something you need to lay to rest when it comes to that. Yeah. I'm getting something like, man-made time is made to make us feel stuck. Okay? So let's continue. let's see the energy supporting you and the energy, I'm hearing changing you, and I saw 10 on the timer, changing you, Wheel of Fortune. The energy supporting you and the energy changing you. Okay, so we're bypassing the challenge here. Energy supporting you. We have a stranger. I'm going to get one more. A stranger is supporting you, sending you love, maybe praying for you, good energy. Reconnect. A stranger is reconnecting with you. This could be someone from a past life. Could be somebody that you know from the past coming back around in some way or another, but they feel like a stranger in some way. Reconnect, a stranger. I also feel this kind of nostalgia of like, when you're younger and you meet people, you don't try to figure out everything about them and their intentions, and they're just kind of this new person, and you're like, wow, what's your life about? That's so cool. Like, you're into that? Tell me, like when you're in your early 20s or something, you're just kind of discovering this life of a stranger that inevitably and eventually teaches you about yourself. Now, as we get older, we actually stop looking at people as if they're strangers, and we kind of project or assume, or actually psychically, intuitively, intellectually, maybe even know what someone's all about. So people become less of strangers and more of mirrors or warnings or familiars. And so I feel like Spirit is saying here with reconnect and stranger, there's a time coming up for you to be kind of in wonder and awe and open to something new. Could be a new person. Try not to immediately decide what or who something is. Now, this is a general message. If you meet some creepy ass person and they're freaking you out, okay, trust that. You don't have to be open to it, right? But someone here might take you by surprise. You could be judging them a little bit quicker than you yourself would like to be judged, okay? So keep that in mind. There's something coming through about that. It's like everybody you meet, you feel like you already know their baggage, and for many of you, you already do, okay? But there's somebody else. There's something coming through. What is this? Who is the stranger? What? Spirit, come on, I don't have the bandwidth today. Your shadow? Ay. Okay. Give me a second, guys, because we're going in deeper than I anticipated. Reconnect with a strange aspect of yourself in the shadow. This icy figure I saw, of course, is part of my shadow in the dream. Absolutely. But I'm confronting it, right? I'm grabbing that part of my shadow. Anything scary in our dream is, unless it's like a trauma-based kind of dream, which is a real thing. But usually the scary figures we see in our dreams are aspects of ourselves that freak us out and that are in the shadow. And so when I grabbed this icy, witchy woman in the dream, I was confronting her. No, you tell me right away. What are you doing here? What do you want? Don't stay a stranger. Okay, so there's an aspect of yourself that you're reconnecting with, or you're connecting with for the first time. It could feel like something that has been lost in the shadow, and that feels strange to you. I also feel like this does resonate with what I was saying previously, which is that we tend to project our shadow wounds or fears onto strangers when we don't, some of them, not all of them, trust me, not all of them, but some of them do deserve a little bit more of a chance. Okay, so if you feel like maybe I'm judging somebody a little bit too quickly, well, you have to trust your intuition. But the point of opening yourself up to whoever this is so that you can have that sense of wonder like you did when you were younger, and you were like, wow, this person's really cool. This person's really interesting. What am I going to learn from them? It's that kind of energy Spirit wants you to step into. But there's a stranger aspect of yourself in your shadow, and it's about time that you grab that aspect of you and say, what do you want from me? What are you doing? What is this all about? Okay, so there's something here that maybe is guiding some of your decisions or thinking that you need to confront. A part of you that is scared, okay, or a part of you that is worried. Let's see, what is this part of you? Page of Pentacles, part of you that is learning something. Just get one more. King of Swords. This is a part of you that feels really powerful when you're learning and trying out something new. But then it's like it feels like that part of you then gets squished or squashed by somebody's authority or knowledge. You know, it's giving me this vision of like being in a classroom, being a student. You signed up for this course, you signed up for this degree, you're all excited, you know, like, what am I going to learn? This is going to be amazing. And then your brain starts ticking in different ways and you're all like, wow, this is so cool. And you start sharing your ideas and your thought process. And then somebody's like, that's dumb. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have the research to back up what you're thinking about. You know, it's like some put down, some gremlin coming in with some kind of authority to tell you your ideas aren't as impressive as they actually are, but they are. You have your own flavor, I'm hearing. Okay, let's get the energy that's changing you. That's what Spirit said. So that's the part of your shadow that you're reconnecting with. Intelligent. Deadline. What shadow work? What's going on? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry if this message is kind of like, what are we talking about? Because I don't know either. Okay, I'm just going with what Spirit's showing me. Sometimes this is how the energy works. I mean, I could force and make up a story, but what would be the point of that? Maybe there is a pressure. You feel like you have to make sense of something, or you have to have a clear, like, message or something. Hold on. Something is uncertain, and that might be bothering you, but there's something about that uncertainty that Spirit wants you to spend some time with. What is changing you? Intelligent, shadow work, and deadline. Well, this part of you that's in the shadow, this stranger part of you, is intelligent. And a stranger that you meet could also be very intelligent. You know, oftentimes people who are intelligent are misunderstood, okay? Because their brain is going in different directions, millions of miles a minute, and they might not be able to do the kind of baseline communication that others do or that most people do because they're operating at a different level. Okay, so there's somebody around you who's quite smart, intelligent, but also yourself with this shadow work deadline, but there's some kind of pressure you're putting on yourself to get something done, to impress someone maybe, or to not be ridiculed even. A deadline is changing you. But Spirit is saying with time, well, what are you saying about this deadline? New life. You don't work vis-a-vis deadlines. Even that name, right? Deadline. No, you need a lifeline, right? And here it is, new life. So there's something about playing to your rules, coming, reimagine that scene for yourself, however it went for you in your life, where you walk into the classroom, or you walk into the relationship, or sit down at the dinner table with your family, or whatever the circumstance, you walk in, and whoever disregarded you and put down your excitement and your interest in something, I'm hearing you get up and you say, never mind, you don't get it. You're not operating on my level. All right. So there's something about an authority figure somewhere in your life. It could even be now, or somebody trying to be an authority figure in your life. I don't want to say it so like that. Silent. Yeah, like silencing them. They're trying to silence you, but what you really need to do is silence them. And I'm hearing ticking, like a clock ticking. Silence the ticking of the clock, the deadline. Oh my goodness. Okay, should I don't know. Should I go into a spread? Spirit, can we get more specific? I'm going to watch this back. I need to watch this back. Knight of Cups, Ace of Swords, and the Three of Pentacles. You're going to have a genius idea around something, or an epiphany. This could be about the truth. You come in with it, though. You're solving a puzzle. Look, this is you. Knight of Cups, Ace of Swords. Wait a second. I know what needs to be done. I know the truth. I know what to say. I have something that you don't to offer, some intelligence around this situation, or in this workplace, or in this relationship, because I've reconnected with an aspect of my shadow that is willing to learn and explore and figure out what's what. I'm not operating on deadlines. I'm going for the lifeline. And this, some of you, it's like, well, I don't know if you're detectives, but it, like, literally, but it feels like it. Like you're trying to solve something. And then you have this epiphany because you realize, like, I need to go at my own speed with something. And you figure something out. You offer someone a key, or you unlock a door for yourself. What is this related to? Hearing your life? Yeah, okay, Spirit. But like... Five of Cups, Despair, Ten of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, the Lovers, Strength at the bottom. Some of you are in a situation that you're not happy with. Okay? You could feel like it's now or never. There's a deadline coming up. Expand this divine time that Spirit's talking to you about. Don't feel pressured or rushed, and don't feel stuck either. There's something, I'm hearing there's something adventurous coming down the pipeline for you. There's a decision to make, a big choice coming up about leaving something behind. What is that? It could be family. It could be trying to make everybody else happy and satisfied, putting others before you. Six of Cups, could be something from the past here. Six of Swords, Six of Cups. Yeah, you're leaving behind the painful old memories. You are entering a new life. The biggest message here, and I think I'm going to stop because I don't know if I can get any further. It's just a quick message, about time. Okay, like really try to work with that concept. You're very intelligent, not just book smart, But maybe I'm not book smart, but you're also intelligent when it comes to your shadow. All right, let's read a closing card, Spirit. Closing message. Closing message, Spirit. Vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, moving out of stagnation. Garden of Venus, rest and renewal. Okay, I'm going to read ego sublimation. Because delivering messages like this, where I know it's kind of all over the place, challenges my own ego. So let's read this. Ego sublimation, letting go of self-centeredness, becoming a vessel of possibility. That's what this whole reading is. It's showing you a possibility of how you can perceive time differently and what that can actually do for you and how it can change you and the pressures you put on yourself and the old wounds that you're carrying around some kind of disciplinary authoritarian figure. Do you ever wonder if your self-definition has become too rigid, too fixed around what you've come to learn, so that you contract your life into zones of safe versus unsafe? This here is okay, but over there, well, that might be too risky. Judgment, fear, self-righteousness, and overconfidence are only some of the traits that keep you from evolving. We are all products of our conditioning, so remember that this is part of the human experience. You are not meant to remain static, seeking only what you expect. Even if it appears ambitious, it is still too narrow. You go nowhere when you hesitate to move out of your comfort zone. When you focus too much on yourself this way, you become a servant of the ego. It edges God out, removing the magic of possibility. Imagine looking into a mirror and seeing only what you are now. If you can let your self-definition soften, moving beyond the veil to your potential, a magical emptiness exists where all things are possible. Look again, who could you be? What would you see reflected if you allowed yourself to be other than how you define yourself now? Nothing less is required of you now. In this moment, let go of who you think you are and allow a new you to emerge, a new life, that future self that we were talking about. You are it now. You will recognize yourself as what you are, a partner in co-creation, in service to the divine. Doesn't it feel good? Yeah, I think it does feel good, but I think it feels scary at times too. All right. I hope this message was of service in some way, shape, or form. I love you so much. I'll see you next time.